Good morning, everyone. Happy Easter, happy Passover, happy Sunday, and welcome to all. I am Harvey Aronson. I'm one of the founding resident teachers here at Dawn Mountain. My wife, Ann Klein, who's the other, is not here this morning. We start with, can somebody give out the aspiration sheets? Claire, could you grab those and hand them out? We start with a very gentle aspiration, which orients us towards wishing beings well. We end our meeting with, we'll just do the blessing with the names. On Sundays, we do a very simple meditation, and we like to introduce what the purpose of meditation is, and then do 2 simple meditations. And so the question often comes up is, why should we meditate? And it's a great question. The way we understand the mind is that actually at a very, very deep level, the mind is clear, attentive, at peace, and wise. And traditionally, spiritual traditions, whether they were traditions of the Western religions or traditions of the Eastern religions, taught meditation to align the mind with that which is the deepest spiritual reality. And that is still practiced, and that is an aspect of why we practice meditation. It's really to align us with a very, very deep spiritual truth, the deepest nature of our own reality, the deepest nature of our mind, peacefulness, awareness, clarity. It's also the case that when we start practicing meditation, we don't arrive typically at peacefulness, clarity, and wisdom overnight. And people think they'll come to a meditation practice and that their minds should just become quiet. It usually doesn't occur. And in fact, what often does occur is that the minute we start clarifying the mind, we become aware that there is an awful lot of noise in there. And that's expectable. But what we are doing in cultivating the 2 forms of practice that we do is developing attention. And attention is an aspect of the mind that is present at the most outermost layers of our, call it monkey mind or chit-chat mind, to the deepest layers of our inner nature. And quality of attention or awareness. What many of us find when we cultivate awareness and attention is that we get a little bit of space in our daily lives that may give us just a bit of a chance not to be overwhelmed with our reactivity. So as we practice, the 2 practices we do that are very, very simple is the first is we will place our attention on our breath and then rest in the practice of breathing, in the process of breathing. Thoughts are going to be coming and going. Feelings may be coming and going. We're not getting sucked into them. And it's that not getting sucked into things that can serve us very, very well in our lives when we almost automatically always get sucked into things. And so we find if we have, through the practice of meditation, created a little bit of shock absorbing capacity, we might not get immediately overwhelmed with, let's say, anger or sadness or irritation. And we might have a moment where we might think better of doing something or saying something. We might find that our reactions that before were 2 hours long, maybe they're now an hour and 45 minutes long. And if we keep practicing, maybe an hour long, and maybe then half an hour, maybe 15 minutes. Most people don't become, through the practice of meditation, just absence of reactivity. It just doesn't usually work that way. But the reactivity gets quicker. Our being absorbed in our emotional processes moves faster. Technically, some people call it a process of decentering, meaning we don't get centered in our reactivity. And that, I think, gives us all a sense of greater freedom, a greater autonomy. The other practice that we do will be a practice of chanting that's drawn and inspired and taught to us by our Tibetan teacher, Adzom Rinpoche. It's a very, very simple practice of using a syllable, hung, that we recite twice. Hung, hung. And again, we are focusing our attention on the syllable. We're breathing, our minds, our attention are unifying into the sound. And if thoughts and feelings are occurring, their thoughts and feelings are occurring. If in either process of meditation we find that we get completely lost, and that also, of course, happens, we just bring our attention back. We might gently and internally say, distraction, distraction, just to sort of note that we've now returned to our attention. And then we resume the practice of either the mindfulness of the breathing that I'll teach shortly, or the chanting. So we will start. The first practice is essentially you're going to sit relatively straight. Your chin can be a little bit tucked down. Your hands can be here, they can be here, however your hands are comfortable. If you're very, very tired and you find you're falling asleep, you might want to have your eyes open a little bit. If you want to have your eyes closed, you can do that. It's up to you. And essentially, we breathe in and we breathe out comfortably. We're not trying to control our breathing. And you place your attention on the process of breath, and then you just let yourself rest in that process. And again, if there are thoughts and feelings occurring, let them just occur. But your primary focus is on placing the attention and resting the attention. If you get totally distracted and lost, just gently note that when you emerge from that distraction, internally, distraction, distraction, and bring your attention back to placing it on the breathing and resting on the breathing. Om, 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 we will have a 10-minute break at this point.
Dawn Mountain offers traditional Buddhist teachings primarily in the Tibetan tradition in a way that is accessible to contemporary Americans. Having studied and practiced for many years under recognized Tibetan masters, and understanding that these teachings provide a way to realize the natural state of mind that embodies profound wisdom and deep love, Anne Klein and Harvey Aronson wished to share these traditions here in the United States. As a result, they established Dawn Mountain in June 1996, based on the core belief that it is possible to cultivate a better understanding of our deepest nature, which in turn facilitates new levels of mental calm and self-acceptance.
So our inspiration really comes from our love and gratitude to our own teachers. They spent so much time and care with us over many, many years.
Khetsen Rinpoche was extraordinarily compassionate. He had a terrific sense of humor, and just his ability to be present and immediate and just there. Adzom Rinpoche is extraordinarily compassionate and grounded.
And we've had extraordinary experiences with Adzom Rinpoche, whom I met in Tibet in 96. And I've had many hours of just, one-on-one conversation, a person who has tens of thousands of students to attend to. Okay, there's this wealth of cultural wisdom in Tibet. It's encoded in texts, in practices, in rituals, in art, and many people in the West are attracted to it, and yet Westerners are Westerners. We're Westerners. We're not monastics. We may dedicate our lives to practice in our heart of hearts, but we have families, we have jobs, we have all kinds of responsibilities. So how can we communicate and really experience transformation through these practices? For that, some kind of bridging is necessary. We're also a community center, nonprofit community center, which is the hub of our work extending life skills, the life skills of cultivating calm, of cultivating ease in life, of cultivating kindness.
What did you do today that you liked?
Make the glittery thing to show your anger.
And what happened when you shook up the glittery thing?
It made me feel a little bit like I wanted to meditate in peace.
And then the Research Institute is where we look at what we can provide by way of information gained through research for the interested public. So we've mentioned that our own teachings here, which are drawn from work that we've done, our own translation work, our own study, and so forth, some of these will start appearing as pamphlets for practitioners here, and some of them will become books that will be published and will be widely available to the larger public. And I am right now in the process of gathering a team to translate a text from this tradition, which he powerfully feels, and which I also have a very, very strong wish to see translated. And we hope to do more of that. We've seen people telling us how their lives have changed, how their lives are improved, the comfort the inspiration that they feel coming to Dawn Mountain, we really are inspired to envision a way that Dawn Mountain becomes a stable beacon and place of gathering for people who wish to practice at whatever level.
I trust the teachings. I feel in the place. I feel that I am constantly fed.
And I can feel my breathing better because of the way my legs are positioned.
How long have you been sitting like that?
I learned it when I started coming here.
And it's not only been in the spiritual sense, but also in every aspect of my daily life. I feel that I'm less stressed out. I don't get as angry or as depressed as I used to.
It's good. It teaches me how to kind of relax and be mindful and help with school and stuff like that whenever I get aggravated.
One of our projects that has come to partial fruition is that we have developed a curriculum, which is posted on our website, that explains the open matrix of what a spiritual path can be, supported here at Dawn Mountain.
We've slowly become aware of the power of the media, and it is clear now that there is great interest in both our broadcasts from here, and from time to time we might be able to have broadcasts from Asia with Adzom Rinpoche or his sister Anila. Without students there are no teachers, and without teachers there are no students. We all dependently create one another. So we're very, very excited by the energy that is in the community. The community is alive, it is supportive, it is growing, and it really wishes to thrive, and we want to participate in that thriving in every way that we can. But we're really talking about finding a space of shared values. And if individuals share the values that we have in terms of coming to a deep appreciation of our innermost nature, then come and participate. That's the most significant thing that we can do together. Just sharing our participation is lovely and meaningful. And anything above and beyond that by way of offering service for this community, offering financial, flows naturally. And we expect that that will just be a natural outflow for people because of that shared interest.
Precious three gems from deep in my pained heart, see me with compassion. I have no other hope. This dear human body impermanence besets. Do you not fear your death, good and faithful student? The 5 skandhas gather and disperse who knows when. Heartily think on death, good and faithful student. Karma never deceives, so give up wrongful thoughts. Engage Dharma wholly.
me do Thaga me ilute mi ta to bole te ki zhe de ye ye de de kar zo lo ma Andi pung in so pa nang ki lo te men do ni ne ki par so hi te de kar zo lo ma Lin zhe lo me yen pe me gi do par po yin la ye ge
I ask precious three gems from deep in my pained heart. See me with compassion. I have no other hope. This dear human body, impermanence besets. Do you not fear your death?
Are there any questions about what I said or about your experience or what we did this morning so far? Yes.
Okay. I'm Mike, and of course your mind chatters, and you acknowledge it and let it go, and you get pretty zenned out, and then it chatters some more. So I wasn't worried about that, but I did notice several definite, almost ahas of problems that I had been working on, trying to decide how would I do this or how should this come together, and just sort of flashes of, oh, well, that's how that can work. But wait a minute, I'm supposed to be meditating. That's planning the future. Let me stick that somewhere. But it was nice to have those flashes of clarity or inspiration or stuff suddenly making sense in between all of the meditating.
Great. So in my book, I actually have a chapter which is called Meditation Local or Express, and it really deals with this particular problem. And the problem is, if you go to a traditional meditation teacher and they give you instructions, let's say you're meditating on the breath, and then you were to say to a traditional teacher, but I got all these great insights that are coming up as I'm meditating, they would say, just drop them and meditate on your breath. Don't pay any attention to it. And that's what I would call the express approach to meditation. All local stops are irrelevant. The only thing you're looking at is that express stop that's 5 stations. You don't stop at any of the local stops. And the point of my chapter in that book is that as Westerners, there may be some appropriateness and usefulness for us to occasionally pay attention to what occurs at the local stops. I suggest in that chapter, and I would suggest it here, is that sometimes it's good to actually practice in a way that whatever is secondary or insight or anything, just to try to practice express meditation. I'm just going to do the task that I've been taught. Let's say, placing my attention on the breathing and resting in it. And it's good to see what that's like. And then on occasion, some things come up and they're just too yummy, too important, too significant. And, we might pay attention to it. Ideally, ahead of time, you've sort of decided which approach you're using, but sometimes I think in practice, you decide on the fly. and stuff starts coming up, and it's just too magnetic to say no to. So I think the significant thing is that, yes, indeed, as we start just even paying a mild amount of focused attention, there can be a great deal of clarity. And I will fess up that a number of, like when I was writing my PhD, intractable, I just could not figure certain things out. I mean, it was impossible for me to solve a certain problem. And I would sit down and I actually coined a phrase for it, deliberate inadvertence. You're deliberately not adverting to your problem. It's deliberate inadvertence. And things just sort of clarify. So it's an excellent experience. And I would just play around with it in the sense of maybe sometimes you decide that you're not going to pay any attention to that stuff that's coming up. But sometimes we do. Thank you for that. So, okay, time can fly. We'll resume a little practice, and we'll do a short, probably a short medley of breathing, the hung, and the breathing again. It'll be very short indeed. Yeah, okay. Just to show you how those. One of the things that doing silent after doing the hung, there's a particular force to the silence after we've vocalized. So let's just place our attention on our breathing and rest there. Place your attention on your breathing and then rest in the process of breathing. Thoughts come and go, just let thoughts come and go. If you get distracted, gently bring your attention back, placing it on the breath, resting in the process of breathing. So where's the book of names? So at the end, we bring to people mind those who are ill or in need of our concern, or just ourselves. And we'll start, though, with the blessing. And it's just our aspiration that as we're bringing people to mind, that we all may end up in a very positive situation. So, Deborah, where are you? So the blessing. With all of you in mind, we light this lamp of clarity. May the glow of love, wisdom, shine within us, everyone, till we all rise forth born in one enlightened mandala. And today we're remembering, bringing to mind, Tam, Francesca, Jessica, David, Bao, Evan Kamaki, Alan Kamaki, Karen Kamaki, Daniel Symes, Lois Symes, Darlene Johnson, Jeremiah Nelms, Dominica, Lisa, and Jean. Ted in the Bardo, John in the Bardo, John and his family, Donna, Ramona and Hilton, Lisette and Leslie, Sierra, Wanda and Christian, Terry, Frederick, Alexander, Sarah, Stuart and Matthew, George, Helen, Daniel, Elizabeth, terrorist victims in Kenya, Helen, Rosalind, Linda and the Bardo, Teresa and Jim, job search, Smokey the cat and the Bardo, Susan, Jack Phillips and family, Mike and Cindy Hart, Jackie, Ben, Gina, Joanne C., Anushka, and Sharon Fowler. So we'll conclude with an ah syllable that we chant, just sending out well-wishing. To all beings. We are here every Sunday at 11. You can bring your friends. We have our class on Tuesday, this coming Tuesday, first and third Tuesdays. We're talking about wisdom in the process of death and dying. On Sunday, April 12th, between 11 and 12, we're starting our children's program for young children about age 6 to 9. If you know anyone with children 6 to 9 who would like them to be learning a little bit about mindfulness in an age-appropriate way, not quite the way we do it. We have a wonderful instructor, Simone Woodage. And otherwise, I wish you all a happy Easter Sunday, a happy Passover Sunday, and yes, and practice Tuesdays are on the 2nd and 4th Tuesdays of the month, starting at 6:30, and all are welcome. You can come and do the simple practice we do here, or there may be other practices that you know that you can do in the community. Anything else to announce?